Okay, all of you again, look at your books on page 92. Now here we are going to start with the simple present and the present progressive. Knowing, let us say the difference between them, how can we use them? Now let's read about, the first structure, simple present. Who wants to read? Sharif, read about the simple present.
Okay. Simple present tense. Use simple present tense for facts or things that are true in general.
Good. Now here again, we use simple present for, different situations. One of these, uses of the simple present is the facts. We use the simple present with facts. Also, I think if you remember when we talk about simple present, we said that we use simple present with habitual actions. Now, look at the sentences. You will realize that most of them are what? Facts. Who can read the first example? Who can read the first example? Ahmed Safi, are you here? Uday, read the first one, please.
The Saudi Riyal (SAR) is the official currency
Official is currency.
official currency of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
That's true. Yes, this is a fact. It is true. The Saudi Riyal is the official currency of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, what about the second example? Who can read it? Muhammad
Can I
Taysir.
read it?
Yalla Abdul Aziz, read the second. It
It takes one.
Okay.
It
The
takes
simple
1
present
million.
facts that are the Saudi Arabia is the official
Mhm.
currency of the kingdom of
Okay, Ahmed.
Saudi Arabia.
It takes 1 million years for a glass of, bottle to decompose. Abdul Aziz, read the third one.
My parents don't read printed newspapers anymore.
Good. My parents do not read the printed in newspapers anymore. So here, this is about, related to him. It is a, it is a true sentence. So he used what? Simple present. Now, if you look at the negative form, we use don't and doesn't with simple present. Now, what about the last? Who can read the last sentence? Here we have a question. With the questions, we use what? Do or does? Muhammad As'ad, read the last example. Abdurrahman Musa, are you here? Abdullah Amin.
Yes, teacher.
Yalla Abdurrahman Musa.
Where?
Read the fourth example here.
Does Oman belong to the United Arab Emirates?
Good. This is a question talking about what? General truth. So we have to use simple present. This is a question. With the questions we use does, or with singular, do with, plural. Does Oman belong to the United Arab Emirates? This is what? This is a fact. So with facts, okay, we use simple present. Now move to the second part of the structure. Here we have the simple present versus present progressive, just showing, the difference between them. One of the uses of the simple present is to talk about habits or routines, habitual actions. We use the present progressive also for actions happening now or occurring now or for a temporary situation. When we say, temporary situation means, let us say, a period of time, this period of time, not all the time, but, this period of time. Look at the examples. Who can read the example? Who can read the first example? Abdullah Amin.
Us.
Yes. Here. The temperatures.
Okay. The temperatures change with the seasons of the year. Habit or routine?
This is, habit. The temperatures. I'm not talking about now. This is what a routine. Always, you know, the temperature change with seasons of the year. That's what habitual action. Now, what about the second? Read, Abdullah. The temperatures in the poles.
The temperatures in the poles are changing drastically.
Drastically.
Happening now.
Yes, talking about now. So you realize that here we have simple present and we have what? Present progressive. Talking about now. The temperatures in the pools are changing, you know, drastically. Now look at this sentence about John. Who can read it? Yanal, are you here?
Yes, teacher.
Read. John lives in Quebec.
John lives in Quebec, but he is studying in France this year.
Good. Look at the first one. Here we use, with permanent actions, we use what? Simple present. John lives in Quebec. This is what? Habitual action. With permanent, you know, let us say situation. With permanent situation, we use simple present. But with temporary situation, اللي هي الحالات المؤقتة, just, you know, this period of time. But now, this period of time, he is studying in France. With temporary situation, we use simple or present progressive. With permanent, we use what? Simple present. John, you know, in general, he lives what? In Quebec. But now, at this time, these days, this year, he is what? He's studying in France. Now here we have a note. We have to take it in our consideration. If you remember when we talk about the stative verbs, what do we mean by stative verbs? You can remember the stative verbs. Verbs which do not take what? ing form. Some verbs are not often used in the progressive form. We call them what? Stative. Like believe, forget, know, love, like, need, etc. Understand, want, realize. These verbs do not take ing form at all. We use them always with what? Present simple. Okay? Now we have some time expressions we use with the present, like currently, at the present, now, these days. So these expressions are used for the present tense, whether with, you know, present simple or with the present progressive. Who can read the first example? Who can read the first example? Uday?
Yes, teacher.
Read the example here. We are currently.
We are currently studying for examination.
Good. We are currently. Currently means nowadays. Now, yani, means now. This time, at the moment. Good. What about the second? Who can read?
Can I read, sir?
Yes. يلا عبد.
Okay. Most people recycle these days.
Most people recycle these days. You realize here recycle doesn't take ing form, so we use the simple present these days. Most people recycle these days. Now what about, you know, the third one? Abdurrahman Saadi, are you here? Ahmed Taysir.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yalla Muhammad Taysir. Read the third one. At the present.
When, sir?
Here at the end of the page. Here.
أستاذ المشكلة مو شايفها من
طيب, okay. Try to open your book on page 92. Okay. Yalla, prepare yourself for the fourth one. Okay. Look at your book on page 92, ya Muhammad. Usaid, read the third one. Usaid.
Yes. Which one? Time
Read.
expressions?
Time expressions for the present. The third one.
Time
At the present.
expression for the present. We are currently studying for the examinations. Most people recycle these days. At present, there are measurements in place to tackle climate change. Air travel is more affordable now than it was in the past.
Thank you. So you realize here these expressions are used with the present, whether simple present or present progressive. Now let's move to the first exercise, exercise A. Here we are going to complete the sentences with the where's and the parentheses. We are going to look at the sentence carefully and use the simple present or present progressive according to the situation. Number one, who can try? Who can try? Abdullah Amin, are you here? Number one.
بس simple present or present progressive.
Yes.
Okay. Water at 100 degrees. Boil at 100 degrees.
Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. You realize this is what a fact. So with facts, as we said, we have to use what a present simple. Water boils. Okay. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Now, what about the second?
Teacher, can I try?
Can I try?
Teacher, can
Yanal.
The water is boiling. Please turn it off.
Talking about now. The water is boiling. Please turn it off. So this is not a fact. This is what a present progressive. Something which is happening now. The water is boiling now. Please turn it off. Good. Now what about the next? Who can try? Abdul Mu'in, are you here?
Teacher, can I try?
Yalla ya Muhammad.
Okay. The scientists don't understand the cause of problem. Don't understand.
Don't understand. You realize that understand is what? Is a stative verb. This verb doesn't take ing form, so we have to use the simple present form. The scientists do not understand the cause of the problem. Good. Number 4, who can try?
Sir, teacher.
Abdulaziz.
Is it snowing in your country in winter?
Is it snowing or does it snow? Talking about what? Habitual action or not now? We are not asking about now. Look at the answer. Thank you. Does it snow in your country? I'm talking about, asking about in general. Not about now. Does it snow in your country in winter? In general, in winter. Does it snow or not? Okay. Muhammad Taysir.
Yes, teacher.
Number 5, please.
Number 5. The moon goes around Earth.
Good. This is what a fact. So with facts, we have to use what? Present simple. The moon goes around Earth. Good. The moon goes around, the Earth. Okay, what about number 6? You can try.
Teacher, can I try?
Yes, yalla.
What do you think of my idea?
Good. The verb think means believe. Doesn't take ing form. It is a stative form, so we use what do you think? Good. What do you think of my idea? Next, number 7. Who can try? Hamad Asad, are you here? Hamad Naif?
Yes.
Hamad Naif, please read number 7.
Currently, the number of
migrants in our country
is increasing.
Good, thank you. So here we have currently. Now, means this period of time. The number of immigrants in our country is increasing. حاليا, you know, the number of immigrants in our country is increasing. Good. What about number 8? Who can try? Be careful with the verb. Realize. Sharif?
Can I try?
Yes, Sharif.
Most people realize how important it is to conserve energy these days.
Good. Most people realize how important it is to conserve energy these days. Realize is what? Is a stative verb, doesn't take ing form. So we have to use the simple present. Number 9. We can try. Abdurrahman Mazin, are you here? Abdurrahman Mahrouk. Khalid Majdi. Day.
9. Dubai is part of the UAE, but it doesn't have as many oil reserves.
Dubai, this is, you know, a fact. Dubai is part of the UAE, but it doesn't have as many oil reserves as Abu Dhabi. Good. So this is a fact. So we have to use the present simple. Thank you. Number 10. Can try.
I try.
Yes.
Ahmed has a part-time job on Saturdays, but he isn't working today.
Good. Here we are talking about, you know, this period of time. So with, you know, temporary situation. This is a temporary situation. This period of time, he is not working. But, you know, in general, he works on Saturdays. But these, let us say, this day or let us say this period of time, he is not working. Good. Okay. Try to have a screenshot. Now look at your box on page 93. Look at your box on page 93, please. Here we have the conditional sentences with the present and the future forms. All of you know that, you know, conditional sentences talk about what? The future. We can use the conditional sentences with if to talk about causes and results. If you cook, there is something will happen. If you put water in the freezer, something also will happen. It becomes ice. But some of the results, you know, will go what? True, and we are sure that it will happen. So we have to use with facts, simple present. Now use the simple present tense in both the clauses. Why? Because in the second sentence, in the result, the result will be true. If look at the example, if you cook an egg in the microwave, it explodes. You know, the second clause here is what? Is a fact. If you put water in the freezer, what will happen? Sure, it becomes ice. Is it clear? So we use simple present with the results here, with the results. In the second clause, if you cook an egg in the microwave, we cannot say it will explode. No, it explodes. No need to use will, because if you use will, it means it may happen or not. So with the present facts, we use simple present in both the clauses. After if here we have simple present, the second clause must be what? Simple present. We have another example. If you throw something in the air, for example, it falls. We will not say it will fall, because it is what? It is always true. It is a fact. Is it clear? Even with facts we use the present form in both clauses. مع الحقائق الشيء اللي أكيد راح يصير نستخدم simple present in the second clause. Now with the future facts we use will or going to. Use the simple present in the if clause and the future with be going to or will in the result clause. Look at the example. If we do not take measures now, the oceans will soon be completely, depleted of fish. Here we use will because we are not sure. Maybe it will, depleted of fish or not. If Imad doesn't go to college, he's going to be very sorry. Maybe he will not. He's not going to be sorry. This is not a fact, always happen. May, might. We use may, might in the result clause to suggest something is possible, but not certain. Look at the example. If Noura doesn't do the homework, she may fail. And she may what? Not fail. We are not sure. If Noura doesn't do the homework, she may fail the class. Or maybe she will pass. If Imad doesn't go to college, he might not get a good job. And maybe he might get a good job if he doesn't go to the college. Also, we are not sure. We are not certain about, the future. Now here we have the expression I'd rather. Use I'd rather or I would rather to talk about, preferences. Look at the example. Would you rather go to the mall now or later? I would rather go now. I prefer. I want to go now. I'd rather go now. Okay, so this is about, the second part of the structure. Go directly to exercise C together. 1 minute, please. Okay. Look at your books on page 96, please. Exercise C. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Now, let's complete the sentences together. We will use the simple present or, will in the second clause according to the sentence itself. If it talks about if the result will be fact or true, we use simple present. But if we do not sure, we use will. Who can try with the first one?
Can I answer, teacher?
Abdulaziz.
If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils.
Good, it boils. So this is what a fact. Here the second clause is what? It is always true. Good. So if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Number 2, Muhammad Taysir.
Yes, teacher. If they climb to 4,000 meters, they will need oxygen.
Good. They will need oxygen. And I think, this is they need, I think, because if you go up 4,000 meters, surely you will need what? Oxygen. Okay? Is it clear يا شباب؟ لأنه إذا أنت بتصعد ل 4000 متر فوق يعني you have or you need surely you need oxygen. So this is what it will come true. It is what true all the time. It is true. So we use climb. طبعا here we have what? Will need. Do not use will need. Use need. They need oxygen because it is what? It is a fact. It is true. Is it clear يا شباب? If you climb up 4,000 meters, you know, definitely you need what? Oxygen. أكيد راح تحتاج أكسجين.
Okay, answer number 3.
Yes, يلا شريف.
If you do not cross this path, the snake will not bite you.
Good. Maybe, you know, will bite you. The snake will bite, will not bite you. That's, let us say, not, let us say, true all the time. Number 4. You can try. Aday?
If we get this HTV television, we will see the game better.
Good. If we get this HD television, we will see the game better. If you, number 5, and try. محمد تيسير, if you mix
flour and water, you will end up with batter.
I think this is also what? This is true. It will always, you will get what? Batter. Batter هو الخليط يعني. So here we use simple present because you know here the second clause is true. End up. لأن لما بتخلط الطحين والمية أكيد راح يصير عندك إيش؟ عجين أو خليط. Okay, thank you محمد. If you do not, if he doesn't obey the speed limit, he will get, maybe he will not get. إذا ما بتتبع أنت السبيد limit أكيد ممكن تحصل على مخالفة. So he will get or maybe he will not get. Okay, work with a partner. Say what will or might happen in the following situations. Just here we have what to expect. If we do not reduce carbon, look at the answer. Global warming will get worse. If we teach young children in school about green issues, maybe they will know better how to protect the environment in the future. If we find alternative sources of energy, we will reduce our carbon emissions. Good. If we dump chemicals into the river, the fish will die, might die. If we take the bus to school, we will save money. If we have time, I will visit you. That's up to you. Here we have different answers. Okay, so let's stop here and go to your homework now. I think here we have a homework.